Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here. Chris from Westchester County, New York. I want to thank you for subbing. I want to thank you for viewing my videos, and I want to thank you for inviting me in your life, and for commenting. And I'll tell you, some of them are getting really colorful, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm just keeping you on your toes in between classes here, and I was actually just going to bring up one thing, but there was something else that I did want to mention. I think other people have mentioned it too, but this is one thing that this is actually a question for the simulation. The human anatomy, a plausible possibility simulation. I was cleaning the fish tank last night, and I had the boob tube on for amusement purposes, and there was some show on there with victims, people that have fallen victim to losing their limbs to shark attacks, and there was one person that mentioned something, and I think he was actually, if you read in between the lines, I think he was talking about something else too. But anyway, let me just very quickly explain it to you, that his body still feels the limb attached to him, which is quite interesting. I've heard other people say that too. And yeah, sure. You're going to tell me, okay, your mind's playing tricks on you, whatever. The way he was explaining it, it was almost, he was implying that the cells had a kind of like a memory, which is an interesting point. Now, think about it for a second. I've witnessed this too, where I've injured myself, unfortunately, while I was cooking. The wounds healed up long ago, and I actually, the body, not the mind as much, but the body almost still not only feels the wound, but is aware of the wound being there. And that's what I'm implying. I mean, cells on a molecular level, if they still have memory of an injury or a lost limb, that right there would bring up, a light bulb in my head and say, hey, computer programming, that's the only way anything could possibly remember that. Because cells can't possibly remember anything. Your mind can, of course, but this just a little idea for you to think about and chew over while I'm preparing for the next class. Okay, and the next thing I wanted to bring up is, this is reverting back to flat Earth. I'm going back to high school here. That's all. Just a refresher class. Or no, just a refresher question, shall I say, not class. But the radar on a boat. I think people have mentioned this too, but I'm going to bring it up again. Remember, this is just keeping you on your toes, that's all. The radar on a boat, and I'm not talking about like a weekend boat here. I'm talking about, like a battleship, with these radars that are the size of a car, this huge satellite-looking thing that just looks ridiculous. Anyway, but if you put in the curvature of the Earth, okay, and these radars, I mean, they detect something 50 or 150 miles away, some of them. I mean, they go pretty far. We're talking 3 digits here. They go as far as. There's no way, if something was 150 miles away, that you could detect anything. I mean, with the curvature of the Earth, I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are, but I'm sure, somebody will let me know about it. But there's no way you could see a boat or anything 150 miles away. It's just impossible. There's no way. Now, that's with the curvature of the Earth. And this is the curvature of the Earth diagram that they have given us, that you can find on the internet, and it's right there. And it's based on a 36.65 miles in radius. Cop that wants to get through here. Yeah, I can't believe how stupid some people are. They refuse to move. Okay, anyway, so that's based on that. So, that's something to think about too. the radar on a battleship, how it's impossible for him to see anything on if we were living on a curve, other than living on a plane. Okay. I hope I didn't get too distracted with that and I explained that properly. All right. So anyway, I thank you again for viewing my videos. I think I've said most of the things I needed to say.